speak? Okay, so I'll explain quickly. We were just discussing Purim Katan, that, right today would have been in a year that was not a leap year, Purim. But when it is a leap year and there is 2 months of Adar, Adar Rishon and Adar Sheni, the first one and the second one, the Purim is in Adar Sheni, which is closer to Passover. So Purim will be in March. But there's still a day, we still semi-acknowledge it by having to, there's not really any change other than not doing Tachanun. Grab the prayer book in the back. So to do something just slightly different, we have the Lev Shalem, which I bought sometime during the pandemic, a few copies of, and it is the newer version of the prayer book that we use. It has more transliteration, as well as a more literal translation, and then also commentary on the right side, and extra readings on the left side, which is it's the same version as what we use on the high holidays. So we'll try it a little bit differently tonight. So in here, yeah. And I guess that's a little bit rude in acknowledging his loss. We're going to use a book that he didn't have as much influence over. But yeah, Rabbi Jules Harlow, who was the editor of the Sim Shalom, although not this one, he was the editor of the original Sim Shalom, passed, and he had tremendous influence on the movement in terms of his liturgical work. And also little things like the old Maksha that we use, which was edited by him before he did the Sim Shalom. The purple pages, if you remember, his wife loved purple, so they could do one color back then. So the one color they chose was black and purple. But we will turn to Yedid Nefesh, which can be found on page 10 in here, and if you're at home and using the blue one, is page 14.
Yedid Nefesh
Shachman, Yedid Nefesh Rachman, Meshokatach, Eretzonach, Meshokatach, Yalalai, Eretzonach, Yarotzach, Kemaya, Yishtachavei, Yalalai, Voharach, Yeravlo, Yedidutach, Minofet Suvyanai, Yalalai, Bechotam. So I'll read a poem from Sivan Har Shefi, translated by Rabbi Edfeld, the editor of this Siddur. Tassas a soul, we who are the accumulation of so many things, like the dust in our rooms. A gasp escapes from our inner being. Toss us a soul, that might go up and down our spine like Jackson Pollock on a swing, pouring colors randomly, and suddenly there's a picture. Toss me a soul like a stone bouncing on top of the water, sinking to the bottom of the lake so that it has a confident heart. Toss me a soul like a sack of sand dangling from a hot air balloon so that it can freely fly. Toss me a soul and stay close to me, like someone putting in anchor. Toss me a soul, I have one already, but toss me an added soul on the eve of Shabbat, Toss it like a rich man throwing change in the beggar's hat on the street. Toss me a soul, an injection of good stuff, I who am in need of what all the well-behaved and all the silent ones want, a heavenly tossed soul, like cleansing water, and cleanse us. So we'll begin the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat. Lechuna Ranana begins on page 11 and continues on page 12 in Lev Shalem, and is on 15 in the Sim Shalom.
Lechon Hiranena,
Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Ladonai. Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Nekama Pana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Mizmiron Naria Lo. Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Ladonai. Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Nekama Fana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Mizmirot Naria Lo. Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Ladonai. Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Lechon Hiranena, Ladonai. Hu Adonai Eloheinu, v'nachnu reito v'tzon yado.
Armaim Shana,
Akot lecho,
Ba'omar, Akto Elevavim, Vahem, Lo Yadu Derachai, Asher Nishbati V'api, Im Yevohon Elenu Chati.
We turn the page, and on 13 and 14 we find Shir Ladonai.
Shiru Ladonai,
Shir Chadash, Shir Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai, Malchut Shemo, Basur Miyom Yom Yeshuato, Saler V'Goyim Kevodo, B'chol Ha'amim Niflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Olam Me'ahod, Norahu, Al Kol Elohim Ma'ayai, Ki Kol Elohei Ha'amim Elilim, Ba'adonai Shamayim Asa, Hod V'Hadar Lefanav, Os V'Tiferet V'Mikdasho, Havul Adonai Mishpechot Amim, Havul Adonai Kavod Mahoz, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo, Zeu Mincha, Uvol Lechatzrotai, Shachavul Adonai Leharot Kodesh, Chilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz, Imru V'Goyim, Adonai Malach, Tikun Tevel, Ba'atihimot, Yadinamim B'Misharim, Yismechu Hashamayim V'Tzagel Haaretz, Ramayam, Omeloho, Yarosarayim, turn the following page. It's 15 and 16 in here and 17 in the Sim Shalom. And let's alternate paragraphs. They didn't italicize for responsive reading. So, Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine. Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow before God.
Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult, as you, Adonai, pass judgment.
You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful.
Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. We'll turn to 18 in the black and the blue, and 17 and 18 in the red.
Mizmor
Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Ki Niflat Asa, Hoshia Lo Yemino, Ozro Kadsho, Ani Adonai Yeshuato, Le'inei Hagoyim Gilatzit Kato, Zachar Nasto Ve'emunato, Let Israel ra'u kol artzei haaretz et Yeshuat Eloheinu hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz pitzu v'radenu v'zameru zamer l'Adonai b'chinor v'kol zimra בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריל לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה, נהרות ימחאוך, יחר הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיבה, הארץ ישפוט אל הצדק וימים במישרים יאללה לה 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 יאללה 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 לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 So in the Lev Shalem at the bottom of 19, blessed is your coming Shabbat, blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace following a tumultuous week filled with so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming Shabbat. Blessed is your Creator. Blessed is your light. And we'll rise in the Lev Shalem, page 21, in the Sim Shalom, page 20.
Mizmor
David, Havu Adonai Menelim, Havu Adonai, Kavod Va'oz, Havu Adonai, Kevod Shemai Shtachach, Dunai V'arat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Adonai,
וירכינם כמו עגל לארון בסריון כמו בני ממאי כל אדוני רוצה לבטש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מבקדש כל אדוני יכול לילות ויעשה סוף יערות ובכלות כולם מכהן אדוני למה הוא ישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום
You may be seated for Ana Bakoach. It's on the next page in the Lev Shalem.
Ana
Bekoach, Yenulatim mincha, bemincha, tatir tzerura kamerin atamcha, zagereinu tareinu nora. Ana Bekoach, Gedulat yamincha, tatir tzerura, kamerina trina tamecha, zagereinu tareinu nora. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. So there are many things I love about Lev Shalem. There's one challenge. When you add more commentary, it takes up space. So instead of being on 2 pages, Lechadodi is on 3 pages. So we'll do the first 3 and the last 3, so that'll page 23 and 25, and we'll just jump right past 24. Likat kalla yanadai 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 b'nei shavan nekavela hay lechandoti likat kalla yanadai 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 b'nei shavan nekavela shamar v'zachor v'rivor echad yishmiyanu elam meyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem lo tiferet litila lechan lo likrat kala yanadai 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 b'nei shavan nekavela hay lechan lo likrat kala yanadai 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 b'nei shavan nekavela לקראת שחר לכו בדך כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם משוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לכאן דודי לקראת כלה ירנה 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 בני שבן נקבלה Kalla yanada 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 b'nei shavan ומצאי מתוך אפיך, רק שרקבך, וכו יחמו עלייך לך דודי לקראת כלה ידני 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 בני שבת
נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ידני ידני ידני
בני שבת נקבלה והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יציס עלייך אלוהי כמסוס חתן הקלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ידנה 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 בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ידנה 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 בני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאלי פרוצי אדוני תריצי על ידי איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה we rise לכאן דודי לקראת כלה ידנה 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 בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ידנה 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 בני שבת נקבלה בואי לשלום עטרת עלה גם בשמחה עופת סוחלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ידנה 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 בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ידנה 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 בני שבת נקבלה. You may be seated. The song for Shabbat is found on 27 and 28 in Lev Shalem and 23 in Sim Shalom.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת,
טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון,
ולזמר לשמך העליון.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות ערי עשור ולנער ערי היגיון בחינוך ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון ולזמר לשמך העליון. כי נבחת נגנבך יאבדו אבן צדיקת יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו
Yashar Adonai Tzuri Menuatamo. We turn the page for the final psalm of Kabbalat Shabbat.
Adonai Malacheu Tavesh, Navesh Adonai Otitazah, Atikon Tehel Otimot, Nahon Kisacha Me'az, Me'olamata, Nas'un Eharot Adonai, Nas'un Eharot Olam, Yisun Eharot Togam, Mikolot Ma'im Rabim, Anirim Mishmereyam, Adir Mamarom Adonai, Elotecha Nevnu Me'on, Le'en Panav B'Kodesh, Adonai Le'orech Yamim.
I'm thinking, about this week's Parsha. And Parsha Tetzaveh has a moment where it's describing the clothing of the high priest, of Aaron HaKohen HaGadol, the high priest. And there's all sorts of different vestments and a big hat. But then it talks about this breastplate. And it says that this breastplate has 12 stones, just like the 12 tribes that we have up there representing the entire Jewish people. And that when Aaron goes into the Holy of Holies, when he goes into even the Mishkan itself, he has to remember that he is not only himself, he is himself, but that he also needs to remember that in a way the entire Jewish people is walking in with him, and that he is bringing to God all of their needs, all of their desires, all that they have with him. And so this is a rethinking of what I shared online today. When we have a relationship, oftentimes we signify those with clothing or with jewelry. We wear a shirt or a scarf or a blouse or something that was given to us by a parent or a grandparent, that was worn, maybe a fur coat that's been in the family for generations. Sometimes we mark a relationship with a ring or a watch or a necklace or a bracelet. And these mementos have value that is beyond their weight in gold or silver or platinum or any other material, because they have this meaning within them. They represent the relationship to a certain extent, which is why when somebody loses a ring that was their mother's or their spouse's, it's not just the loss of the ring, but they fear in some way that they've lost a piece of the relationship. And sometimes it takes, even a replacement doesn't feel quite the same. But then also sometimes we change those things, that as we, if a relationship has made it for a decade or 20 years or 50 years, you say, hey, you know what, I want to get a new ring to acknowledge that we've been together for all this time. Or a necklace that has the reminder of other members of our family with birthstones or names engraved. And so I thought of that. I don't know that Aaron, I don't know that he originated the family necklace. But in that same way that we use jewelry, the way we use clothing, the way we use sometimes a physical, sentimental object as a memento, to acknowledge, memento mori, like this acknowledgement of loss and pain and joy. And how do we, remember, at the end of the day, it's just a thing. But it's a thing that can inspire us and lift us up and help us remember, the values that we hold dear. And I think about the Shabbat candlesticks or Hanukkah menorahs that people somehow managed to keep across journeys from far-off places and that remain in the family from generation to generation. And how those things, and then, the really challenging, I don't know what the right word is, but those younger people just are not into stuff the way their parents and grandparents were. And so suddenly the yadros and the tchotchkes and the things that were so important in one generation are no longer important 3 generations on. And so how do we keep that spirit, keep that memory, keep that vision without the thing? Now, I think also of one of the other parts of that breastplate was that it somehow, again, Torah is not entirely clear on this, had the Urim and the Tumim, which were some sort of mystical, magical object that helped the decider understand God's will. It's not clear, is this like a magic 8-ball? Is this like a yes or no? You reach in the pouch and say, the black stone is yes, the white stone is no. We don't really know how it worked. I wrote a paper on it in rabbinical school. All the references to the Urim and the Tumim and how exactly could it possibly work. But the idea, again, the objects itself are long gone. We don't have that breastplate. We don't have the Urim and the Tumim. But we have the desire to connect. The desire to connect with God, the desire to connect with the tribes, with our people. And so whether or not we have those physical reminders, how do we ensure that we keep that memory from generation to generation to generation? Lador Vador. Shabbat Shalom. I don't know what's going on tonight. We're a little bit short. So we'll continue with the blessing after Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 39a here and on page 28 in the Sim Shalom. Night Shabbat Shemon Echai V'Kayam Tamidim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari V'Aravi. Avat Olam is on page 40. Avat Olam et Yisrael Amcha Torah Mitzvot Psukim u'Mishpatim Otanu imadta Aken Adonai Eloheinu Mishamenu Gomeinu Nasiach Mefokecha V'nismach B'divrei Toratecha U'B'mitzvotecha Le'olam Amen. Ki hem Eloheinu Yorech Yameinu Yorech Yameinu U'mahem Neged Yomam Halayla Yomam Halayla
לכתך בדרך, ושך בך וקומך, ושרתם לאור על ידיה, מהעיר תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך.
והיה בשלום צבאי, אשר נבחי מצרים. היום אדם שלם עוד דבר על בני ישראל ומתהלכם סולם ציצית הכנף בדעת האלן ציצית ראיתם אותו זכרתם מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא אחרי ובכם עליכם אשר אתם זמכם תזכרו וצים חוקותי הנה לכם אשר ציתי אתם מירשעים ולכם דרכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Page 43b, Vemunah B'Shmi. Kishesh Malamatach Vinachti. Arochu. Page 44.
Umahut Amiratzon Kimlu Alehem. Moshe Miriam Yisrael Echadu Shira.
Simcha Rabba v'yamru kulam. Mi chamocha v'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nar b'kodesh. Nara tehilot sefer. Malchutecha al baneha. Mokeyam lifnei Moshe. Ze'elianu ve'ameru. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. V'nemar ki fadana et Yaakov. U'yalom yad hazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Yisrael. Page 45. Shelter me in a leaf. Shelter me in a stone. I envy them their sure peace. Shelter me, God, protect and conceal me, enclose me in your fences. Pick me up from the dust that turns me gray. Embrace me with your eternity. Like a leaf and a stone nourished with dew. Make me a path of permanence. My heart is shadowed. Anoint me with your dazzle, which I feel in my breath. Wash away my trembling. Wash away doubt. The nights are ephemeral, the days filled with pain. Send your help, God. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. So in the Lev Shalem, we turn to page 46 for Vishamru, and then we take time for our personal prayer on 47. And in the Sim Shalom, where it's page 34 and 35, we rise.
Veshamru
Bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לאורת ברית עולם ושמר בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם בני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמר בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני
השמיים ואת הארץ שמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם.
וביום השביעי
שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. Bnai זה ודאי תפתחו.
Rabbi Hamnuna says, the Torah treats one who prays on the eve of Shabbat and says Vayechulu as though that person has become a partner with the Holy One in creation. Hizda said in the name of Mar Ukba that when one prays on the eve of Shabbat and recites Vayechulu, the angels that accompany a person place their hands on that person's head and say, now that these words have touched your lips, your sins shall be wiped away and your transgressions atoned. So Vayechulu is on the top of 53, and we go from there to the Kiddush on 55.
Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz mechol tzevam vayechulu hayom hashvihi melachto asher asa vayishmot vayom hashvihi mikol melachto asher asa
קומלתו,
אשר
אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושמר קודשו בעלמא וברצון הנחיל לנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תפילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. Aleinu is found on 56 and 57, and it's in the Blue Book on 51.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא צמאנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא צם כחכנו כהן, וגורלנו ככל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומנונים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה
אדוני אחד,
ושמו
May be seated. Grant that the memories of those who have gone before us be a source of strength for us and for everyone of the house of Israel. May the souls of our departed find peace in your sheltering care, and may we all be blessed with peace, tranquility, and the fullness of life. We remember this week Betty Sembler, Eugenia Sater, Ethel Axelrod, Kenneth Hyman, Francine Ringler, David Meyer-Ikovitz, Alice Levitt, Esther Fish, Herschel Newmark, Arnold Horn, Murray Milbauer, Hazel Schwer, Hannah Freed, David Berger, Betty Rothstein-Rabin, Ricky Martinez, Pearl Brook, Frida Judenfriend, Abraham Halpern, Isaac Sirkesi, Sarah Guggenheimer, Fanny Frogel, Phyllis Dantowitz, Bella Miller, Joel Marantz, Elizabeth Krohn-Kaiser, Gertrude Ziedenweber, Bobby Osborne-Cowart, Herbert Blyer, Louis Horowitz, Michael Scudero, Robert Robbins, Goldie Peck, Hortense Dorothy Lasher, Elizabeth Glickman Weinstein, David M. Selden, Ruben Mizrahi, Lieselot Stern, Ellen Chasner, Bernard Pastronk, Pearl Greenfield, Shirley Platt, Tilly Cobran, and Harry Kaplan. May their memories be a blessing. Those observing a yard site, you can join me on page 30, which has the reading that I've done on those days when we have not had a minyan. Ribono shel olam, Elohai haruchot lekol basar, Master of the world, God of the spirit of all flesh, it is known and revealed before you that it is our fervent desire to praise your name and to remember and honor our beloved fathers and mothers, our daughters and sons, our wives and husbands and partners and brothers and sisters and all other relatives and friends by reciting the mourner's Kaddish in the company of a minyan. May our presence here today with our community find favor in your eyes and be accepted and received before you as if we had prayed the Kaddish together. May your name, Adonai, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Baruch, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Praise be the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty is forever and ever. Hoseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Vehimru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Hoseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. So we'll turn to Yigdal, which can be found in the Red Book on 62 and on 53 in the blue one.
Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimtza v'yenet el metziuto echad ben yachid v'yichudo nelamed hamitzov le'achduto elo demutaku v'yenaku lo na'arach elav kedushato kadmon lachol davar asher Rishon v'neshit l'reshito Hino Adon olam b'chol matzah Yoreh gedulato o malchuto Shefa nevuato netano Ela ansei segulato v'tifato Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe honavi O mahavit et emunato, Torah temenata le'am oel, Aya nevion leman beto, Lo yachal Yifa'el ve'lo yamir dato, Le'olamim lezulato, Sofer yodea zetareinu, V'lesof davar karvato, Gomer le'ish chesed kemipalo, Notel rashara kerishato, Yishach leketchamim meshichenu, Livdod nakeket yeshuato, Mitim Michael merov chasto, Baruch Adei Shem Tehilato, Mitim Michael merov chasto, Baruch Adei Shem Tehilato. Shabbat Shalom. We'll put the Lev Shalem back on the shelf, and we'll see you tomorrow for those that are able, and we'll see you next week for those that's your schedule, or any of the times in between. For example, on Sunday, when we have Nefesh Mountain here, come back, 1 o'clock.